Today we're going to be talking about a Sultai deck, and I am so genuinely excited to talk about today's deck, guys, because we've been working on this win con for what feels like over a year, and I think I finally got something decently competitive here. We're talking about this wizard with a name so hard I've given up trying to say it a long time ago, and we have a funny name that we call this card in my live streams, and we call it Triska Chick-fil-A, and we're going to stick with that here today. But Triska Chick-fil-A is a 2-mana wizard that comes in as a 1/3, and it has a tied-in ability to draw a card for 4 mana, but it says you win the game if you have 13 cards in your hand on your upkeep. That simple. I've put this now into a ramp deck here today because I believe with a lot of mana you can pump not only that draw mechanic a bunch of times, but also because we have a really nice new card, Silver Scrutiny, that allows us to dump, X amount of mana to draw X amount of cards, which is really crazy. If we can hit this thing for 13, we can end the game right away. But it also opens the door for some creative removal along the way. We've got things like Karn Silex and March of the Wretched Sorrow. The Silex is a perfect sweeper because depending on how much mana we can dump into this thing, we can sweep, everything off the board, which is really easy to do with all the mana we have. But also March of the Wretched Sorrow is a perfect spot removal after that sweeper occurs, because we can, again, dump X amount of mana into this, gaining X life, which can turn the tides of a game in an absolute instant, as long as we have enough mana. And then lastly, we splashed in an additional win con here with the Behold the Unspeakable. It's an enchantment that turns into a flying trample creature that has the power and toughness of how many cards are in our hand. So that's a really nice way to win the game too, by going over the top and smashing them. The deck is so much fun, guys, and again, I've been trying to make this work for so long, so I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. But as always, there'll be a full deck breakdown at the end of today's video, so stick around for that. In the meantime, down below in the links, there's a full deck list, and if you guys enjoy content just like this, if you wouldn't mind giving the video a like, subscribe, all that good stuff helps out an absolute ton. I'd greatly appreciate it. But with that being said, guys, enjoy today's video, and we'll see you here at the end. Peace. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be doing some serious nonsense here on the ladder. But let me assure you guys, we've won 3 games now in a row with this thing. It is absolutely insanity. We're trying to basically win the game by drawing 13 cards, which is kind of silly if you think about it. Opening up against mono red potentially here, which could be bad. We do have the Karn Silex though. Hopefully we can get to that Silex before we're dead. And maybe if we can find a March off the top to gain some life later would be super helpful. But yeah, the idea is simple, guys. We're going to ramp like crazy and then use those lands to produce a boatload of cards to our hand. And then at the same time, other sort of value, like I said, the March, which can get us... which can get us a lot of life gain, things like that. But we're going to need a lot of mana to do all the things we want to do in this deck, essentially, though. So we're hoping for the best here. The opponent, though, off to a very fast start. A lot of 1-drops, so the Silex is going to be very cheap for us to activate and sweep the board. They don't look like they're wanting to invest any more into the board, which is pretty smart. But at the same time, I don't really want to blow up the board yet. So I like the fact that we're only taking 3 a turn at the moment. So we'll take it. We'll take it. Phoenix Chick keeps getting the offer to come back, but they don't have double red in order to bring it back. So they're just going to have to take what they can get. They're down to just 2 mana right now, which is great. They haven't found a 3rd land drop. There's the March. We love that. Yeah, we'll take both of these. So. All right. I love this, actually. This is actually fantastic. It shuts their opponent down for another turn and just lets us continue holding on to the Silex with no regard for our life total right now. So I think we're gonna shut this opponent down pretty hard here. This is kind of crazy. All right, we do want to draw some more lands. Both of these can go, believe it or not. Come on, lands. Ooh, we missed the lands. Okay, well, we do have this. Wow. Okay, we're missing land drops pretty hard here. Okay. I guess we do this now. Geez, I don't know. Yeah, I guess so. I guess it's worth it. I didn't expect to miss that many land drops in a row. It's kind of crazy. We are down to 9, but the opponent's only again on 2 mana, which is super helpful for us. They did just find another land though. Okay, they bring down another 1/1 with haste. Totally okay. And a dissipate doesn't help us very much, does it? Let's go for... Let's just pass the turn maybe and go for 3 cards off of the scrutiny. That seems fine. That seems fine. I do think we're going to win this game though. I mean, I feel very, very confident with our build currently. Like I said, we've won 3 games already. Graveyard to the battlefield. Okay, that's pretty annoying. That's pretty annoying. All right. Let's block here. But yeah, we've had some really killer games with this deck so far, so I'm very, very happy with how it's been performing for us. Let's get a little joint exploration. More mana is not a bad thing. We have a couple many journeys on the in the hand, so might want to get rid of a couple of those. Let's do one of these again. I love this card in this matchup. In this particular matchup, it is absolutely stellar. All right, another many journeys. This is only leading us up to a much, much bigger silver scrutiny. And no attacks because they could end up playing a hasty creature we want to block. So we'll hang on to it. We will hang on to it. All right, now we're chilling. We're going to be gaining 6 life next turn, guys. 6 life. And, okay, that's fine. All right, and there's the 6 life gain, and we don't need either one of those. We are looking for our actual wizard at this point to close this game out with. Let's go here. And I'm probably just going to pop a really big one of these. 3, 6, 7. I can do this for 7. And then if I find my wizard, we're chilling. There it is. Boom. All right, no maximum hand size, and we're sitting at 11 cards in hand. We could go over the top for potentially lethal too. So I mean, let's just do that too. Let's send all the problems their way. All right, so now we've got our win cons on board. Ooh, they take the wrong card though. They borrowed time the wrong thing. Trust me when I say, I guess that, I mean, it's not the wrong thing. I am gonna win by going over the top with it because these can't block, but that's the benefit of having 2 win cons, huh? All right, here we go. Time to end this game, ladies and gentlemen. Simple as that. So we're going to attack in with our 1. There's really no point to attacking or not attacking, but we're going to just end our turn. We're sitting on 12 cards. We just need 1 more card to win the game, which we have plenty of mana to do just that. And they have no removal, so that's going to be game. Unfortunate for them. I love it though, man. Dude, we're winning so many games with this deck. It's kind of crazy. We were winning in Mythic with this thing too. It's nuts. Absolutely nuts. All right, that's game for sure. They deal the 1 to my face. They swing in probably with both birds. Yep. We block one of them. Boom. They're hoping maybe I make a mistake and not draw my extra card, but it's not going to happen, my friend. That's going to do it. GG's. Good game, my friend. Oh, dude, that card is insane. It is insane. We had our secondary win con anyways on the field, so either way, we were going to win that game, but my goodness. And it acts as a really nice little counter for you, too. Whatever the power is on this thing, you know that's how many cards are in your hand, which is great. GG's. I'm genuinely just so thrilled and excited today, man, about today's video. I'm telling you guys, this thing is amazing. Anytime you can win with these just silly win cons, it's just such a great time. Opening hand here. Oof. Little tricky, but I do have a turn 3, turn 4 ramp mechanic. I'm hoping maybe we can find our sweeper, because if our opponent is any sort of aggro to mid-range, we might be in trouble. But I'm really happy too, because I've been trying to get this card to work for so long. I mean, I'm talking, it feels like a year since we've tried making this card work, and we haven't yet had a chance to do so. So very, very happy. Let's go ahead and pass the turn here. We're not going to play it out anytime soon. We're against Naya, which means they are going to show us some sort of aggression here soon. But we're starting things off a bit slow, which I do appreciate, because if they were a little bit quicker, we'd be in trouble here. So glad that it's a bit slower. We are about to ramp through the moon here in the next 2 turns, because we've got the restoration, I'm sorry, the joint exploration into the survey, back to back, just ramp mechanics. And they bring back an artifact. All right, let's stop holding priority. They're not going to care about counter spells anyways. Silax is good. That's also not terrible, because it can bounce the token. It's fine, we don't need that. All right, I love the Silax in hand here, and I love the fact that we have not taken any damage yet. Those two factors have been really nice for us. Now, can the survey hit us some good stuff here? Yes, we find a black source. Beautiful. Now we can play out the Silax next turn and the survey, hopefully also top decking a land. And from there, I think we can take over this game. I think that was really the missing piece to this deck for so long. I've been trying to build, you know, the Triska deck for a while, and I've tried it in different variations and forms, in Esper and all these things. And I think Ramp is really what made this possible, because I was bouncing around ideas all week, like how do I make this work? And Ramp came to mind, and I was like, you know, Ramp does seem like it would be the proper place for it. But then I was like, well, what about sweepers? Because now we're in a, you know, a color scheme where there's not very many sweepers to choose from. And I forgot all about Karn Silax, which literally fits like an absolute glove in today's build. So I was like, oh my gosh, well, there's your obvious answer. We've got the Silax, man. All right, so the opponent does have the ability here to exile artifacts with the, you know, the farewell, unless they threw away their only copy. But they choose not to. 3, 4, 5 mana, 6 mana potentially. Actually, they still could hit the farewell here, to get rid of the Silax. There's a chance they might. They don't want to lose all their value. They may want to just pull the trigger on that. We'll see. Nope. All right, so we got 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Easy peasy. See you later, my friend. And then we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Seems like a pretty good deal. Seems like a pretty solid deal for me. And we're ready to go. We're ready to go. We're down to 11, but the opponent only has 5 cards in hand as opposed to our full 7. And we've got, you know, everything we could ask for. We've got infinite life gain with the March of the Wretched Sorrow. This could definitely be a reanimator deck. I'm imagining it could be based on the things we've seen so far, but they haven't really shown us a whole lot, to be honest. So not 100% sure on that. Okay. I don't know. I'm still want to slow roll this a little bit. I'm not too sure exactly how I want this to play out just yet. But this should be fine. We're going to scry 2, draw 2, and then we can also play this. I'm just going to unload the entire hand here the best I can. I don't want to play this without my counter spell, because I just don't know what sort of kill spells or burn spells they may have. So I just want to take my time with that. As of right now, we're kind of chilling, just kind of hanging out, doing our thing, just unloading all the mana we can. And it's another Fable, the Mirror Breaker. And let's take a look here. 2 lands, don't want those. And a Many Journeys, okay. Gaining 3 life, scrying, don't need these. This is actually kind of helpful because of the Fable, but I don't really care too much about it. I'm being honest. Wow, we are not drawing very well, are we? Yeah, not drawing very well at all. Is it time? It might be time. It might be time. All right, we've got a good block against the goblin, but there are burn spells that could be coming down and facing the wizard here. So I'm gonna hopefully unload a lot of card draw here in the hand. I mean, we got so much mana we can pump into this effect to just keep drawing cards. We also are going to transform both of our enchantments next turn for some creatures that they may have to answer. The mender here, okay, so I'm not too sure what the opponent's trying to do. I'm really not sure at all. I thought maybe this was like an Invoke Justice deck, but it's starting to look like it's not. We're halfway through our deck and we still got so many good cards we can draw into. Another Silver Scrutiny would be fantastic. We have all of our Dissipates. Yeah, there's some things we can do here. Karn Silex is gonna be pretty good again. All right, we're gonna draw all the cards we can here. And we should be able to get one more here. All right. Pretty bad. I was going to say not too bad, but that was actually pretty bad. All right, and then they're going to get another treasure, of course. Yikes. Okay. Yeah, the draws are absolutely dead at the moment. Absolutely dead. All right. I'm going to play you. I am completely aware that the Vision of the Unspeakable is going to get a lot weaker as we unload our hand here, but it does up our chances of being able to hit a much bigger Silver Scrutiny down the road, which is what I kind of need. I can end this game in one turn if I just find a Silver Scrutiny, to be honest, because I could find my wizard off of that as well, and a counter spell, I'm sure. All right, they draw another card, which does leave them into a token. Another Bank Buster, sure. And looks like they're eyeing the Vision here as a potential threat to kill. I feel pretty good, man. I feel like this is going to be our game. It's just a matter of time of whether or not I can find what I need. Again, one Silver Scrutiny is the one card we're really eyeing for here. Let's see, 16 total lands, so 15 damage. 15 damage here. Let's go ahead and go up to 30 life. Seems like a pretty solid idea. Back up to 30, and we're going to gain even more life off of the many journeys here. All right, so we do find another wizard, and we get that in, and there's really no reason to send the attack through and drawing a bunch of cards here on main phase. We may want to actually use the March of the Wretched Sorrow, so let's just go ahead and pass the turn here. Actually, you know what? We have a good attack with the 3/3. We might as well send that through. And if they block it, I can untap, you know, the two lands that I tapped, which can be pretty relevant. And they bring down the Bank Buster, which is a pretty big mistake. Hold on. Cancel this because this will go down to 0. Let's draw a card really fast. And okay. And now we're left with 13. So let's do this for 12. Just really maximize it. That could bite us in the butt, but this is a really greedy play to get as much life as I can, but I think it's funny and kind of worth it, to be honest. All right, and then there's a chance here that they block. I should have allowed the block to happen first to untap my 3 lands. That way I could use my joint exploration as well, but I pulled the trigger a little too fast there. Hopefully they block, though. I mean, you never know. They might double block here. I doubt it, but you never know. Yeah. Should have done that a little differently. Hindsight being 2020. Up to 45 life, though. They're gonna have a really hard time killing us now. We got plenty of creatures in front, and they do kill the wizard, which is unfortunate. I was concerned about that, obviously leaving it exposed a bit there. But again, up to 45. We have the joint exploration, which can hopefully find us maybe a silver scrutiny. Pretty good. All right, that's kind of a problem. That gets really big pretty quickly. All right, they go for it. No big deal. Dissipates. All right, come on, joint exploration. You got this. Get us something nice. Give us something nice. Get to go 3 cards deep here. Karn Silex does seem pretty fun. I can't lie. I can't lie. It seems pretty fun, but I do think we have to pass on it. I think we have to prioritize. We have to prioritize finding a silver scrutiny. We have to. No attacks. We've got 2 more wizards, 3 more scrutinies, and we've put a lot of cards at the bottom. We've gone so deep. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 total cards at the bottom of our library, and our library has 24. So 19 total cards. 19 total cards. 3 of them are what we need. I guess I wouldn't mind another behold either. Yeah, it's gonna be tricky. We will dissipate that. I don't think I want them being able to draw cards here, to be honest. Obviously, the dissipate's pretty important to protect ourselves from removal. But, you know, stopping the card draw in the future seems pretty fun. There we go. All right, pass the turn. Seems good. Seems good. This does 2 damage, right? Yeah, 2 damage. So if they have another one, it doesn't kill it. But they do have this Lantern Flare, which deals X damage to target creature, planeswalker. You gain X life. X is the number of creatures you control, unless they pay the cleave cost. Okay. Depopulate. That's gonna have to get a counter spell, unfortunately. Let's hope we're not exposed here, though, for another sweeper. That would be pretty unfortunate, but at least, you know, getting a lot of cards out of their hand would be nice. All right, here we go, here we go, here we go. What's the play? What's the play? 1 silver scrutiny wins us the game. I'm telling you guys, it's that simple. Let's just hopefully get through this turn with our wizard intact, and 1 silver scrutiny will be money. Here we go. We got this. We've gone so many cards deep, man. We've got to be able to find it here. It's got to come off the top in this next couple of pulls. No. Last try. Okay. Oh, you're killing me. Okay, 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 okay. Chill out. We got this. We got this. How many cards at the bottom? Okay, so we know that's there. Man, I can't risk playing this and reshuffling the deck. That would be pretty foolish on my part, I believe. So let's go ahead and just pop this. Come on. Okay, that's not terrible. Yeah, let's play it. You know, doing this for 1 could be a pretty relevant play, but I don't know if I want to do that or if I just want to pass the turn here. I think I'm just going to pass the turn here. I know I could be dealing damage to them here, but I've gone to the point where I'm like, you know, we're just going to end the game with our wizard, and that's going to be the end of it. No counter spells in hand here, though. No ways to draw cards. We're in a bit of a bind. But I'm telling you guys, I mean, we know 1 card there, and then, I mean, there's 3 silver scrutinies sitting in this top right here. Like, we just need 1. We just need 1. Ah, here's a farewell. Come on, I need something big. All right, that's good enough. Is it good enough? Well, how many more? Okay, so we still have 1 more wizard. Okay, yeah, we're gonna have to let this all go. We'll let it all go. All right. That's fine. That's fine. $16 cards left in my deck. We're getting pretty close to milling ourselves out, but we should be able to close the game out on this turn. It should be a final a final move here to end the game. My turn. Dissipate in hand. Love that. Love that. And I guess both these are actually really good cards. Let's pull both of those. And now all we got to do is find our wizard, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's within these top 7 cards. Okay. And 13 total cards left. We got to make sure we do the math on this right. So our hand consists of what? 8 cards right now. Make it 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So we need to draw 7 cards here. 7 cards. That brings us up to our total number that we needed, which is the lucky number 13 with our wizard being played out. So now we win the game here as long as the opponent has no answers for us. And even if they do, we have a dissipate or 2 dissipates ready to go. And then I can draw some cards. Only 6 cards left in the deck. It couldn't have come sooner, which is great. That's fine. That's a pretty desperate play in my opinion. Okay, that kills my thing, so that's got to go. Anything else? Activate the ability. Do we win the game or do they have another spell? We win the game. GG's. Let's go. Oh, man. This is so much fun, man. It's so much fun because the opponent has no idea half the time what is happening until it's too late. Oh, good game. We were almost really close to milling ourselves out that game, though, but able to close it out with 5 cards left in the deck. Love it. GG. Oh, my goodness, guys. I can't believe we just got 2 back-to-back wins with that card. It's so that's so good. It's so good. It feels so awesome when you win a game like that. Just nothing the opponent can do, just passively blowing up their head. I don't think this is a keepable hand, unfortunately. I'm gonna have to mulligan that. This is a little better, I suppose. Yeah, I guess that's fine. Yikes. Okay, well, we've got a lot of ramp here. Let's hope that we can draw into a silver scrutiny and we'll be fine. But if we don't, might get a little tricky here. Okay, that is not good because our main source of removal is that Silex, which they can blow up, which you hate to see. That's actually a really bad card against our deck. Hopefully it doesn't come in too much trouble for us. You never know. We might be able to find our March of Sorrow beforehand. I don't know why they would do it like that. They could have got so much more damage off there. All right, 2 lands. Love that. I thought maybe we might whiff one there, but we didn't. We got lucky there, and that thins the deck out quite a bit too. The more lands we can pull from our deck like that, the more likely we are to pull some good stuff. All right, we're taking a lot of damage though on this turn. Yikes. Okay, we do have to stop drawing lands now though. Like I said, the whole idea was to thin out the deck. Now we've done that, so if we could stop drawing lands, that'd be great. Okay. Oh man, we would have been totally fine too if we just found like one thing, like a Silax. Well, the Silax gets blown up. If we just, I don't know, a March would be really good. We can reset the, pretty easily here. We'd be able to gain, I don't know, 10 life next turn. Like, it'd be a big swing too. That would be a big swing. Of course, we find our Silax, but not good enough, unfortunately. Unfortunate. We are gonna take an L here up here to the Gruul Werewolves, but it is what it is. We put up the best fight we could with what we were given, but those 2 hands were just not it. I mean, playing out the wizard on the first. Okay, I was gonna say maybe they screw this up and just overpower one creature, but they do not. They do not. Oh, bummer. Bummer. Oh, they have a Tamio safekeeping too. Why not? All right, that was bound to happen. It was bound to happen. It just stinks that it happened so quickly there. We didn't get a chance to even play Magic. Would have been nice to get some stuff rolling, but all right, it's all good. I mean, losing to Gruul Werewolves is tough, especially when they have such a great creature that deals with the Sylax. Like every other aggro deck, the Sylax does a great, job removing. But, Gruul, they have the artifact destruction, which is pretty unfortunate. I get to go first. I've got a pretty solid hand here with the Sylax opening it up, but I do need to find some ramp mechanics here. Ooh, but the Sylax is going to be a very good card here in today's matchup. And we shouldn't need it. We shouldn't need much more than 3 mana to utilize here. Bloodthirsty Adversary coming in already as a 3/3. That does kind of hurt a little bit. And Sylax does come on down. I did draw a way to gain a little bit of life there too, which is great, but I didn't find a land. A land would have been nice to pair with it, with maybe this Dissipate not being drawn off the top. Oh, Dissipate. Sometimes you're great, sometimes you're not. All right, 2 cards that they can't play because they didn't find a land. Okay. 3, 4, 5. Ah, jeez. I feel like I have to do it. I don't like this, but I feel like I have to do it. We might as well play this out. Gain that extra 3 life next turn. Even though we're not ramping, unfortunately, with it, I still think it's okay. We're gonna be on the under the gun here the whole time. It's gonna be tricky, man. Scryed 1 to the top, which means it's probably that 3rd land drop they were needing, and then they hit us with a Phoenix Chick. That's not terrible. Could have been a lot worse there that turn. That turn could have been a lot worse. And we don't have a second blue source. I just realized that, which means no Scrutiny or Dissipate. Both cards in hand are dead currently. We are going to get a 3/3 body though, which is fantastic. If I can find a blue source though, that's really what we need here. We need to be able to draw like 4 cards and get back into this game. Let's go. Okay. Here we go. Come on. There we go. That's what I was looking for. I needed that march. That was exactly what I needed. All right. No attacks. We leave this back in case they play anything with haste. And we can go find some more lands with the survey. Hopefully getting a really, really big march at some point in this game. We might need to just full send it here on the march actually right now. I could just do this for 1, but that does seem like a very bad idea. Let's just pass the turn and try to hit a march for, what is it, 6, gain 6 life. Seems pretty good. They might want to try to play another one of these Ancestral Angers. I can't believe they hit 3 of those already. That's kind of crazy. All right, here we go. Let's hope they don't have a play with fire. Let's go. I was going to say a play with fire would have been pretty brutal. All right, and you know what? I'm going to go ahead and play out the wizard here. Again, though, still not going to attack here because attacking just leads, unfortunately, to them dropping a haste creature and winning the game. I think I'm going to go ahead and roll the dice, though, with the ramping here. Might have been a mistake. We'll see. No attacks, though. Pass the turn. We're down to 6. They only have 3 mana to work with, but they have a full hand. I'm sure we're going to see some stuff come down here that we're not going to like. Storm Chaser being one of those cards. I'm going to go ahead and hit the Joint Exploration on this turn. Okay, we're down to 3. Cutting it close. Cutting it very, very close. Neither one of those gets us any further. There we go. Okay. That's huge, though, because what happens is if our opponent wants to play out, let's say, another burn spell like that lightning strike, I can just march my own creature here for 9. I like it. Yes, please. Yes, please. All right, here we go. Can we win the game now? We've got 10 mana to work with, so we can draw upwards to 8 cards this turn. 8, 9, 10, 11. Not enough. Not enough, but still drawing 8 does seem like a pretty solid plan here. Seems like a pretty solid plan here. Let's just go ahead and pick up all these cards. And we get another March. Super helpful. And no attacks. I should have anticipated that we were going to draw into them anymore. I might have played that a little bit differently, leaving 1 extra land open for that, but didn't think that through too far, did I? All right, we are down to 9 though, which means we should survive this next couple of turns here. Chandra comes in, not scary. Just deals the 1, gives them the extra mana, or they can just get a card off the top. Either way, not that scary. Okay, that's annoying. That's annoying. But it's not enough to get the job done, especially because we have a huge March here. And how many cards in hand? 11. This is going to be tricky, actually. I don't think I have enough mana to do everything I want to do here. Pass a turn. And I think I just draw a card here and then use the rest of my mana on the March for the squee. The March is going to get us the, the rest of this game won. It's just about whether or not how we want to do this. Okay, that's fine. We let that come through. They pump it with mana though. Three damage to any target. Okay. And we hit this. Let's just do it for the full 10. I got to play it on the safe side. We're going to hit this for the full 10. Boom. Okay, we're back to 15. All right, we're chilling. Now we try to close the game out. Let's go. It just sucks that we had to take that turn off kind of just to cast that, to gain that life. No blocks. All right, how many cards in hand? 11 again. Man, they're not making this easy, are they? 12, 13. I have 3 mana left over for a counter spell. Okay, we should be able to do this. No, because if I draw 2 and then I end up using the counter spell, we won't have 13. Okay, we're gonna have to just send it and see what happens here. We're gonna have to see what happens here, guys. I think we're gonna be okay. It depends on what they top deck. Oh, they're not going for the top deck here. They're just gonna go ahead and send Chandra through with another point of damage. Okay, I think we got this. That's not terrible. That's not terrible. Squee. They can exile some cards. That's 3, 4, 5, 6 damage. That's not lethal. It's not lethal. And then we draw the 2 cards. We win the game. I think we did it, guys. I think we beat mono red, which is kind of crazy. All right, let's do the math here though. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, I think we made it out of this. This is very scary, but I'm just really hesitant here on how I'm gonna block. So let's just do the math one more time. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 damage. We win the game, right? Okay, I just want to make sure. This is a nail biter, that's for sure. 12, 13. What a game. What a game. Oh my God, what a game. Whoo, dude, we were at the bottom. Dude, we were scraping the bottom of the barrel there for a little while. I wasn't sure how to play that because, believe it or not, even with our 11 mana, I didn't have enough mana to just keep doing what I wanted to do, which is, keep pressuring them with things and then also at the same time draw cards every turn. But I couldn't do one or the other. And I never wanted to pull the trigger on the Silax here because if I blew up my own wizard, I'd have to wait to find another one, which might have been a while before we found it. So man, what a game. What a game, dude. That will conclude today's gameplay portion of the video. We are going to talk about the deck a little bit further, but before I do so, I want to give you guys a huge shout out if you made it this far into the video because it helps out an absolute ton when you stick around to the end of the videos because the YouTube algorithm loves that, and I do appreciate it so very much. So thank you for that support. Even if you didn't know you were giving it, I do appreciate you for it. And with that being said, though, let's take a look at today's build, man. So the obvious Triska Chick-fil-A build around here, guys. This is the card we're talking about, man. This is such a interesting way to win a game. It is so strange to be able to draw cards and then win the game because you have 13 in your hand is absolutely nuts. I've tried this thing in so many different builds, never quite had it the way I wanted it to, until we found Silver Scrutiny. Silver Scrutiny is the card that saved it here. I was like, man, what a perfect card for this. Being able to just dump a lot of mana into this and draw a ton of cards. And what really hit me is that I would have never thought to just use this card and the Chick-fil-A together. But the thing is, I've used this card now a few times in some of my ramp decks because it makes so much sense, because with the ramp decks you run out of value really quickly because you're trying to unload your hand of all these lands, you know, by playing additional lands or you know, playing a spell that searches for more lands, and you're just trying to get all your cards out of hand and onto the battlefield, and then you run out of juice. And so we've made a lot of ramp decks where we run the Silver Scrutiny, because then you can pump all of that additional mana you just played on the battlefield into one Scrutiny, and you've got yourself a whole fresh new hand. So I was like, okay, perfect. We've got the Triska Chick-fil-A, we got the Silver Scrutiny, we're a ramp deck now. So now let's play a bunch of ramp spells. So from there, I decided on all my favorite ramp spells that I like to play, which is, you know, the many journeys. You know, the exploration doesn't usually make the cut, but I do like it. So I tried it in here, and I thought it'd be pretty good because we draw cards with it as well. And then lastly, I'm trying out a new card here, the Survey. This thing is really cool because it grabs us 2 lands, and if you can hit with this thing and not whiff, which has happened unfortunately, you can get way ahead. And not only way ahead, you can get you know, such a you're thinning out your deck essentially. Sorry, I was trying to figure out how to word that. You're thinning out your deck quite a bit when you get 2 lands out of your deck and put them onto the battlefield. So your top decks become much better when you start slamming all these additional lands on the field by digging them out of your deck. You're going to be able to make better top decks because, you know, you're thinning out the deck essentially. But those are the 3 ramp spells I went with. We went super heavy ramp here because, again, we need to dump a lot of mana, not only into Silver Scrutiny, but because of our removal spells as well. We've got the Silex, which requires us to hit a higher mana, you know, base than our opponent, because if we're going to sweep everything the opponent plays, we need to make sure our you know, converted mana costs, you know, we beat their converted mana costs with all the additional lands we have. So this makes a lot of sense in the deck, and it's such a great removal tool. And then we've got March of the Wretched Sorrow. This is the real MVP here, guys. This is the card I feel like you need the most in a deck, because this can get us back into games. There's a lot of times where it feels like things may get underneath us because we have this big setup plan, right? We're trying to set up, build mana, boom, one big play, we win. How do we stay alive long enough to do that? Well, obviously the Silex sweeping the board is very important, but then after that, what are we going to do? Because they could just play out a few more creatures and probably kill you, because by the time you sweep the board, you've probably taken a lot of damage. Well, you need to follow it up with something good. This right here is good because, again, we can dump X amount of mana into it, which we should have 10 plus mana, and then boom, we're back in the game. We've got all of our life total right back up to, should be almost 20, and then we can go and finish out our plan, which is you know, should be quite far along in the process. And then I threw in a couple Behold the Unspeakables, not only for the card draw, but I thought it'd be a cool little win con. If we, you know, keep losing our wizard over and over again, we could just hopefully turn this into a flying creature and go over the top. And then lastly, Dissipate. Now I went with Dissipate here because I needed a way to protect the Chick-fil-A, right? So the wizard comes in, and if we have the winning hand, we do need to survive until the upkeep. Plain and simple. We have to make it to the upkeep to win the game. It's part of the text. So I needed a counter spell so we can protect it for that one turn while we're trying to, you know, win the game. And so I needed to make sure we had a good counter spell. And I chose Dissipate because I feel like it's one of the stronger counter spells. It just eliminates anything with flashback, you know, coming back from the graveyard. It just straight exiles the creature or the spell out of existence. So it's a great way to just kind of answer everything. Counter any spell you want, boom, it's gone. So I really thought that was a good choice. And again, I'm not too concerned about it being 3 mana. We got so much to work with, it's not even funny. So I thought the deck, though, guys, pretty interesting. I think I'm on the right track and the right path for making this thing actually viable and competitive. Again, it's a meme card. We all know this, so don't. I mean, I hope it's not too late for someone. I'm sure the people who are going to be mad didn't make it this far into the video, but just in case, guys, don't craft this and then be upset with me later being like, this isn't tier 1. It's not beating mono blue every game. It's like, of course not, guys. It's a meme deck, but it's fun. And isn't that what Magic's about? Huh? It's fun. That's what I'm looking to do here today, guys. Have some fun. But anyways, I think I'm on the right track, and it is pretty competitive, I think. So the stats on my end are pretty good. I think we're like at like a 60% win rate with this thing. I'm not sure, but anyways, that'll conclude today's video. We'll see you guys back here again on Monday. Before I get out of here, as always, huge shout out goes to the Marty Mob. If you guys don't know, the Marty Mob is the membership program here on the channel. And these people on screen help support the channel through their monthly membership. So I got to give them a huge shout out, of course, at the end of every video, just to let them know how much I do appreciate them and everything they do for me and my channel. So thank you so much. And I do appreciate it so much that you are a member here. And I do cherish that. So thank you so much. And with that being said, though, guys, that'll conclude today's video. We're going to go into the weekend strong. I'm going to try my best to get the early access this month. It's so far, it's a no answer situation like last time, but I'm hoping we can get in there, and that'd be really nice because we got some new cards coming to be a blast to try to get those out early for you guys. But anyways, yeah, we'll see you guys back here on Monday for another one. Until next time, guys, peace out.
Hit him 3 times like a hat trick. The name is Swayze, no Patrick. If you play him, then it's tragic. Hit him with the mythic, yeah, that's magic. Yeah, MTG, that's what you'll see if you like and subscribe. Where's the upload, man? Man, all of the time. Coming with the best decks, this is the meta. This ain't cheap.